By the title of the video, you can see that I say, or should I say, believe that school kills creativity. Now, why am I doing this? The reason why I'm doing this is because yesterday, really, I had a thought about it. I was really just thinking to myself about like school life in general, and it was like, man, when it comes to me doing YouTube, me doing whatever else after school is, man, it's like, man, I'm slacking. Like, I'm just genuinely lazy. I don't really do much. I should be doing I should be doing a little bit more than just sitting around in the house all day in my room up there. But um the reason why I'm saying this and the whole bulk of the idea is a quote from John D. Rockefeller. And his famous quote is that he doesn't want a nation of thinkers, he wants a nation of workers. If that's not an encapsulation of America, possibly all over the world right now, I don't know what does. Because truly, school is possibly the stupidest, most mismanaged run thing in our country besides whatever the hell is going on in politics. Because, well, not counting politics, that's what I mean. But it is so mismanaged because the thing that makes school so funny is that they're teaching you, is that you're being taught this stuff, you're being taught this stuff, like math, simple math back in elementary. I mean, man, that got me. But books in English, how to do essays. I mean, genuinely anything in English, anything in history, anything in science. Man, science is not that great of a subject, but that's not the point. Um, you get taught those subjects, and then you're going to get made to do a test on, and that's how school judges you going forward. It's like a grade doesn't make a person what they truly are. Like, are they, like, for example, like somebody's getting good grades, they're doing all the work, but they're not exactly doing well on tests. Well, they're just not the best test takers. It's as simple as that. And I mean, homework is already a parody of itself. One of the stupidest things imaginable. And the thing that I'd like to talk about, and the main point that I was thinking of yesterday, was how we have a personal finance class, but it's required for people to take it, at least in this school district, to take it by their sophomore year. It's like a mandatory requirement. You gotta take it sophomore year, and it's the stupidest thing they could have done regarding that class, because sophomore year, like, do you think we care about finances? Genuinely, barely any of us would care about finances back then, and I rarely didn't. And again, this was the bleakest time of my life. I don't think I've said that before, but it was genuinely the bleakest time of my life. So I really didn't remember much from that class, and that just pisses me off so much, because it's like, man, you know how much of a godsend it would have been if I would have taken that possibly this year, but it would have felt way better to take it senior year to get better idea about how to manage finances and pay taxes. But instead, I'm being taught math and biology and frickin' chemistry or whatever. Like, it's like, bro, we're learning about nothing that's like gonna help us later on in life. Like, how to do this, how to do that. This is why people hate math so much in a way. Not because it's just freaking confusing in all places. It's like, why is this in school? And I'm not talking about the simple math part. I'm talking about the geometry parts. I'm talking about all that. Sure, sure, it may be good for somebody in that realm, but it's like this is another problem with school. School, school teaches everybody the same way, but not all people are the same. So if you got like a mental disability or something, then I mean, school is already a nightmare in itself for you. It's already set in stone. It didn't. It took me until my junior year to actually find myself and to actually have reason to that I enjoy going to school now. Well, besides getting up early, I hate getting up early for this. Um, Sleep schedule was all screwed up, but it's like it took me until junior year to actually find myself and just genuinely enjoy going to school. I made more friends. I made more friends. I got a little bit better at basketball. I've gotten stronger. I've worked out more. I mean, it's just the little things that keep piling up for me that just round up in me having my best time in a good bit. And I'm really thankful for that. I'm really genuinely thankful for that. But back to the topic. And it's like, man, this is the thing, man. This school would have start with hello things up, right? They would have that up, right? Because they're gonna act like they care, like they give two shits, but really they don't give a fuck. Like they're genuinely just doing that to act like they give a damn, and it's just so fake. It's so performative. It's like nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. I mean, you could say that you have vape detectors in the restrooms. And then you could have a kid going back to the classroom talking about there were 20 kids in the restroom just smoking their brains out. Like, school is literally a parody of grown men of grown people, adults, that I should say, trying to run a bunch of kids who know better what to do of a situation than you actually do. I mean, the jokes just write themselves. I mean, back in middle school, that was terrible. That was a terrible time in my life. And back in 8th grade, back when second year into not having COVID restrictions, that was honestly the first year where we really didn't have any COVID restrictions, honestly. But in 8th grade, I had a STEM class that I really was struggling in. Like, I really wasn't progressing in any way possible. I really wasn't. I just really wasn't. And my I'm not gonna fucking call it that. I'm just gonna say one of my you know what. This one, I'll say it as one of the small room teachers and my counselor spoke to me in her office, and they said, we're going to help you. We're going to email your teacher. We're going to change anything about it. We're going to make sure you pass. We're going to make sure you get better in this class. And I was like, okay, cool. And you want to know how many changes they made? They made none. They made none. They didn't change a damn thing. And man, the whole ending to 8th grade really left, like, honest to God, I was so infuriated because, like, bro, like now I was young and naive back in the day. I've gotten better about it, but I signed up for field day, and I was put into none of the events. And add on to the little bit of tension, like I didn't like have a freaking outburst in front of everybody. Nah, I kept it within myself. But I was like, man, honestly, I had never felt so socially isolated in my life, honestly. And it's been a lot of times. It's honest to God, been a lot of times where I felt that way, especially in middle school at that time. And I was really pissed off. I really was like, then add on to the fact that I had to go to this middle school graduation ceremony, which oh look, I passed middle school. Like, bro, like I hadn't have been at that school for a good while until my brother is now in fifth grade and he's doing band and had to go to his little band concerts. Before that, I had not gone back there. And it looks like a prison. It genuinely looks like a prison. Like there's windows that make it look like you're getting locked up. Even the freaking recess playgrounds were just prison type feels because it just be all concrete. You get 4 basketball hoops. It just be full on concrete now, Now, well, back in elementary school, God bless that place, man. I mean, we had a kickball field that was just fully concrete. Now, for little young me, I was bumbling around and I would get knee cut ups every once in a while. Now, I would just wonder to myself, whose idea was that? And then to top it all off, one of the funniest things about our kickball games is that when somebody kick it like very high and the kid would go back, he would have to go back to the grass because again, this was a park. Because again, this was like a drop-off lane whatsoever. There would be a hill. There would be it would just be a hill just sloping down. And if it went back there, it was gone. Like you would get like a home run automatically. Just freaking walk at that point and you'd get it. And it's like, whose idea was to make a concrete kickball court? But again, it ruled, so I'm not exactly mad at it. And grades don't define that. I mean, grades can define a change in character. Like for the past few years, I've usually struggled a lot in school. I usually struggle, particularly in 1 or 2 classes, which I'm kind of in the midst of that, but it's just freaking, it's just in freaking, it's just in, freaking elective classes. But, it used to be bad, man. It really used to be bad, and it used to weigh on me heavy. And it just wasn't overall a good feeling. But I think my grades right now, besides my D in my workout class because I didn't fill out my sheet correctly, even though I filled the whole thing out, and it's like, man, I'm not even gonna say it, but it's like, sometimes I don't connect with people. Sometimes there's people who have like the same like round of interest like me that we just don't connect for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know if they just found me as weird. I don't know if they just blah, 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 whatever. That's like, that's a terrible feeling that sometimes I experience, but it's felt way better these days. You know, you'll run into all types of archetypes at school. All right, this is the main point that I wanted to get to when doing this. The main point is I have felt really lazy when it comes to this channel because I really haven't been posting videos on it. Like I think I just posted a video yesterday. I regularly had a video about Michigan winning the national championship in basketball. That was supposed to come out in the actual March Madness reflection. But I never had the energy to edit that video, as lazy as that seems. And it's like, man, school drains your energy crazy because here's the thing. We have had exams for the past 2 days and I didn't have to take them. God bless the Lord. I didn't have to take them. And that first night where I was just watching the Heat Hornets game, I was like, man, like my head isn't having one of those migraines. Now I have had terrible migraines over the past 2 years, I believe, but it's felt way better over the last few months. So it's just regularly bad headaches, but it was like that weight was just lifted off my shoulders and I just actually had the energy and want to do something. Like I just did what I liked and what I loved, and like actually examined things that I genuinely wanted to do, but I never had the energy to do after school or up to school the next day or whatever. And it was like, man, I'd be in such a better place if I didn't have school. And I'm saying this because like school is literally just a job. Okay, that's literally what it's stationed as, where you had to do a bunch of tasks, where you had to do a bunch of classes, where you had to do a whole bunch of that. I mean, there's a whole job preparation thing that you basically have to school to get. I know a guy who got a bank job that examines other people's bank accounts, payments, to make sure they're not doing anything suspicious. And he had to learn a whole bunch of systems, and that is terrible. And how he just has to sit at his desktop in his garage and just examine other people's bank accounts. I mean, that's kind of entertaining, and that's kind of the dream. He's kind of living the dream, but then again, my legs would be cooked. But then again, I know he's had funny instances in his job. It's just like, again, school is just a job. It literally is. And the worst part is you're not even getting money for it. Now, sure, you could get some accomplishments by doing it, but I mean, it's like nothing's going to matter after that. You can make some lifelong friends. You can have some great teachers that you can stay in touch with well after high school. I mean, you could have all of those things, but had it really prepared you for life? Nah. What prepares you for life is you and yourself. And the lessons you learn by being around your family, your friends, possibly going through a tough time, possibly helping your friends through a tough time, just learning more about yourself, about your surroundings, about anything, really. When you actually deep dive and you just let yourself, like when there's no stress, when there's no test, when there's no quiz, when there's no nothing that comes with it that you need to be tested on or whatever that you need to worry about, it truly is a freeing feeling, honestly. And I've had a bunch of creativity that it got numbed down to due to school. Now, do I have any resentment towards that? Not really. I really don't. I have gotten past that because honestly, I understand if people find me weird. Like, it's okay. I understand that. I understand that I can be labeled as a sped kid, but then they do stupider things that I wouldn't even think of doing. And it's like, damn, man. Like, bullies are really the saddest people you could be around because now I may be talking about a specific kind of bully. The bully that deals with a trash household and then he basically just at school decides to be terrorizing random kids that did nothing to him and just bully them and that'll make him feel better. It really doesn't. It doesn't make you feel better at all. And when you're just like that young, you're that naive, all that, I think that just piles onto it. That makes the worst kind of bullies possible. And school is just, my creativity has been, I wouldn't stand up here and act like my creativity hasn't taken a toll because of school, because it has to a whole degree. It has definitely taken my joy, my happiness, my love. Like, it's broken me down to pieces. My brain, my heart, everything really. And it's like, it made me feel things about myself that I'm not really proud of. It's just, it was just terrible experiences. I mean, no, I hate that I hate that I've not found my adolescence to 11th grade. Part of that is I'm not is that I don't go to my dad anymore. And that's a big part of why I struggled in school so much, because I would deal with yelling matches from him half a week and then have to stress about getting here to school on time. And that really took a toll on me. That took more of a toll than what school did, and then add on to the fact of school, and I barely had any friends. I really just had two real friends, and then sometimes people would just be mean to you and make corny comments about you and just genuinely just put you on the spot with just I'm trying to say this in the best way possible, but it's like it took me a good bit after because I had a lot of feelings towards my dad, angry a lot because I had stuff that was over there that I wanted back and he wouldn't give it to me, and he basically said shit about me. He wouldn't give it back for a whole 9-month thing. It wasn't until Thanksgiving where I actually got my stuff back in full. And after that, it was like the weight was lifted off my shoulders, and I could actually feel peace again. In my junior year, which is this year, before it started, I was worried. I had my regular anxiety about it, but I was actually kind of like looking forward to it. Of course, I regret it now, but I was actually kind of looking forward to it because it was like I'm actually going to do something because I really did nothing over the summer. So, but yeah, you can get mad at me all you want, but genuinely, I did nothing over the summer. So I was like, okay, screw it. And I had my worst night sleeping. It took me like a good bit to actually figure out my sleep schedule. But 10th, 11th grade actually turned out to be the best year of school for me. And no, it was amazing. Like I made friends. I started getting cool with people that I never met before. I won't act like it was sunshine and rainbows because we all had those moments where it was like not good, just awkward all over the place basically, but it was more so overwhelmingly positive than negative, and I couldn't ask for more than that. And though part of that is not having to deal with toxic households for half a week, and I was used to having my guard up for half the week, and I won't lie when I say I got fucked up. I am fucked up right now from those experiences, and no, it really has. No, I said this before that my dad is my biggest. Is that I don't remember the other two, but I said that my dad is one that is more than likely going to be my biggest. I know the two, but I don't know the other one. So I'm gonna just say it like this until if it comes to mind. I said my dad was my biggest. No, I think it was. My dad was my biggest curse, lesson, and blessing at the same time. A curse because of the hurt he had caused to me, the trauma that he inflicted on me is stained, and it's gonna take a while for me to recover exactly. And I say as in lesson and blessing because it showed me the horrors of addiction, the horrors of alcohol abuse, the horrors of cigarette abuse, the horrors of any abuse, honestly. It showed me that and how something can just bring a man who that can bring a man down from somebody who genuinely was my best friend, was a great person inside and out that I could talk to him about sports, anything going on in school really. It He was normal during the day. Genuinely, it was like that every single time. He was normal during the day. And then when the night fell, he just lost his shit. He would lose his temper. He wouldn't exactly yell at me. He would just get on my nerves and cause me to fire back in an argument. And I won't act completely innocent because I've been at fault sometimes too. And then, no, I won't, there were no hands thrown. I was really just yelling matches, honestly. And it screwed me all the way up. And then my grandmother, his mom, found out about it, and what she did has honestly changed my way about how I look at her now. It was rough last year, I will say, but it's kind of gotten a little bit back to normal. But when I think about it more and more so often, it's like change my way about how I looked at her, because she told me to act her age, and I tried. I really did try, and every time she's heard that I had a fight with my dad, she would say that she was disappointed in me, all that stuff, and add on to the fact that I had school to deal with. And I had to deal with people that I didn't click with. People who would tease me for the littlest of things. People that people who would genuinely bully me and would genuinely make fun of me for no reason at all. I really genuinely did nothing to people. I mean, but now I'm here. I'm in the present day, right here, right now. And, I want to make this my thing. I want to make this YouTube channel into something that maybe could set me for life. Now I will have to work for it. I will have to try my best, but I've known from seeing other people do things for their channel from years past to growing their platform to making it in reality. This isn't going to be something like I'm right here really at 12 subscribers, I believe. It won't be like one day, the next day I'll turn into 100,000. Like, that's not going to happen in a day. Honestly, 100,000 could possibly take a year, 2 years, hell, possibly 5 years. I don't know. But I know I can make this a thing if I really tried, and I really want to try. I really do. Man, thank God I made this video. Thank God I'm talking about this right now. Because I can really feel my energy, my pulse. Everything is clicking. Now, this isn't perfect. I've had my screw-ups. Possibly said in this video, my mind has went blank. But I've just felt my passion again that I haven't felt since school started. Because back in the summer of last year, I was so passionate about it. You could hear it in my voice. I was so passionate about it. You could even see it in the edits. I was doing a way better edit job than before, bro. Like, it's like, this is the passion. This is the talk. This is everything I decided to read. Now, before I end this video off the topic of school, this might be out of box way to end it, but I really genuinely want to talk about people who are quote-unquote popular. Now, when I say popular, I mean... Now, let me just put it another way, since that's not going to really work out. I'm going to talk about people who are corny. Now, if you don't know what people who are corny are, I'm going to just use it from the term cornball. Basically, a cornball is somebody who tries to be popular but does it so badly that they just come off as funny as lame. And I have seen a very particular case of one. And I'm not going to say her name because she's not worth the acknowledgement. But if you go to my school, you kind of know what I'm talking about. It's like attention hungry people are the worst kind of people to be around of. And are just straight up delusional people. And this was my former friend, so who I really don't care about anymore. I don't care about rebuilding a relationship because I don't care about rebuilding a friendship that was once had. Because let me get this straight, so I feel like talking about it right now. Well, we've always had that one friend who we had in elementary school that stuck out for elementary school, middle school. And in most cases you're friends with for your whole life, basically. This case, it wasn't really the case. So 7th grade, I'm not going to say what happened, but basically there was a case in her family, and I'm not going to say what it was out of respect for her mother. But it basically was a saddening time for her. It wasn't really genuinely a good time for her. Really, it was a sad time for her. I really felt bad for her. Honestly, I really did. But in that bad time, she started to get more angry, started to get more upset. In a tough time, it is easily to be more upset when you're going through a tough time. So I understood, but it was like this had been growing on a pace, and I was friends with another dude who would sit with us that I met during 4th grade, and he was like, yo, I am done with this. I'm fed up with this. I'm not going to take it. Like, I'm done with this. And I'm going to tell her up front, straight up, like, I'm done with this. I'm moving to another table. I'm not taking this anymore. And I was like, okay. And I was up in the fence about it because I understood why Sophia. Okay, now I just said the name. No, we'll just go by that now. I mean, screw it at this point. But, she would, I understood why she was so frustrated and why she was so sad at the time and what was going on. But I also knew why Landon was feeling the way because, like, I wouldn't take being disrespected by anyone. I wouldn't. Like, I really wouldn't. And I understood both sides. And then when it came down to it, I sided with the friend who went off on her. Because it was like, I felt in my mind that you need time to yourself. Like, you need to relax a little bit. Like, I'm going to sit with him for a good bit. You need to get your stuff together. Like, you need some time for yourself. And I thought that was the right way. Now, I think I didn't exactly handle it the best way possible. But trust me when I tell you, the next thing she does makes me change my perspective about her completely. Because this was literally the next day. Next day, me and him, we're sitting together. We're talking about anything. And then I see her at the table we used to sit at, talking to some girls. And I just hear her say that me and him were jealous of her. By the way, she wasn't popular at all at that moment. And we weren't even jealous of her at all. And this was one of the stupidest things she could have said. And this was just the beginning of the character that is what she became to be. Because after that, I don't know if it really began till late. I think it did begin later that year. Or it was 8th grade. Whatever that was, what a year that was, she would have a gimmick where she would act like a gangster. I'm not even joking. It truly was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But it was so damn corny. It was so damn corny that nobody checked her for this. I think a bunch of people have checked her now in high school because people are more upfront about how they feel. And I appreciate that in high school these days. Back to the part. And then what she would do is she would ask out a bunch of guys. Once, she would do it once, so it wasn't really that weird to begin with. It was kind of weird, actually. But they would all reject her. And she would either do one or two things. She would either, one, say that they accepted that they did want her back. Like, there was one kid who I didn't really fuck with at the time. Like, I used to be good friends with him, but he became something else after that. But the thing was, she asked him out for whatever reason, and he said no, like everybody else did. But what she did was say, oh, he wanted me back. And she would go on this gag for, I think, about a week. Hell, maybe even a month. Like, she would go on this gag, and I was like, bruh. Like, yo, dude. Like, I don't even screw with you that much anymore, but this is kind of ridiculous. This really is. Then we go into high school, and man, it get even worse. I mean, I didn't really deal with her that much freshman year. I never had a class with her. 10th grade. I didn't. Same thing, man. I really didn't deal with her. Then 11th grade. Second semester, first period. I walk into the class. 2 of my dogs are in there. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is great. Like, we gonna, like, this is government, basically history. And I got 2 of my dogs with me. First period, this can't go any better. And then she walks into class, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Because it's not the fact that I have class with her. It's just the overall fact that I have class with her on first period. And it's like, bro, like, it's gotten more keen to the fact, honestly, today she just make comments about what are people about starting with saying, oh, start with hello. Like, I don't think she understands the complex talks that that students be having at school. Like, bro, it's not that simple. It's really not that simple. But back to the point, it's like, bro, God. It's like what she would do is that this was after the Super Bowl. This was a Monday after the Super Bowl. And she asked, like, who won? Who won the Super Bowl? And I told her who won, the Seahawks. And then she started, you ever hear one of them girls scream? And they're all happy and all that. We've all seen that once in our life, and it's like she was doing that whole gag about how the Seahawks won and how she won a bet against her mom and all that. And it was like, bro, you cannot be serious. Like, you cannot find yourself to be tough, to be cool, and you're just doing this, and you're just wearing some Scooby-Doo shirts. Like, bro, you cannot act cool. You really can't. Now, I'm not saying anything's wrong with Scooby-Doo, but the way this girl was acting, you would have her think you would think, like, bro, like, oh, man. It's going to be so funny because after high school, what is she going to do? Like, what is she going to do? Because she knows life isn't going to be high school. Like, bro, it's not. It is not at all. And because life isn't high school at all. It's not. She can act like it is, and she could be too oblivious to the fact of it, but graduation's going to be fast. Like, the days are going to fly by. They've already been flying by. I mean, it just felt like the other day I was in quarter 2, and now I'm in quarter 4, getting ready to get the hell out of here. Like, at some point, you're going to have to stop being oblivious to the fact of it, and you're going to have to be like, okay, what am I going to do after high school? What am I going to do? Am I going to go to college? Am I going to go to the working field? Because I already know one of my friends who's in the construction field, and he already has his portfolio already figured out. He already has his thing figured out. Like, he's already got a bunch of jobs lined up for him. He's already got a job right now. He's getting money right now. Like, he's got himself figured out. I'm really proud of him. Not gonna lie. I really am proud of him. I really am. And like you're like life is in high school because here's the thing. You know who's going to be talking to you after graduation? Nobody. Or at least to the level that it was at. Because nobody wants to deal with you. Most people just stuck up to deal with your stuff. And it's like they're just nice to you. But but if something funny happens to you and you get embarrassed, they're not gonna laugh with you. They're gonna laugh at you. And that's all I really gotta say. Man, I just went off for 45 minutes. It's almost 46. Bro. I mean, I think I should leave. I guess I'll keep the title on the video, but yeah, this went off the rails. Yeah, I should end this right now. All right, talk to y'all later. If you watched this through the whole thing, which I bet most of y'all haven't, I appreciate you more than words could describe, genuinely. But that's it. I'm gonna try to do daily uploads besides the weekend. And I'll talk to y'all when the time is right. All right, appreciate y'all. Bye. Thanks for watching. Yo, I forgot to add this part, but what she would do in high school is that what I noticed this year is that she would walk around trying to talk to whoever. And if they didn't want to talk to her, the conversation was going nowhere, she would walk away and be so pissed. I mean, like, are you so pathetic? Like you cannot be this pathetic. Like, why? Like, bro, either get some actual real friends to sit around and talk to, or just stop bothering other people for no reason. Like, you cannot be this pathetic. But yeah, man, she be moving crazy. She really do.